Hi, good evening. Thank you so much for the opportunity of having this interview. I'm really excited. I'm looking forward to continue with the application process. I do have the questions here, so I will start with the first question for this interview. The first question is, tell me about yourself. Well, I'm from Dominican Republic originally. I'm 54 years old. I'm single. Live by myself. I've been living here in the United States for 9 years. It will be 10 years in January. I like reading. I like movies. I love to listen to good music and hang out with my friends. I'm very active at my church. Um, I'm actually a greeter at the church, and I really enjoy that. I get to say hi to everybody, welcome to the service, and help people sit down. So I have a dog. Her dog's name is Jersey, and I have two beautiful granddaughters. The next question in the interview, tell me about your past work experience. Before living in the United States, all my work experience in the Dominican Republic was in the transportation business. I worked as a sales manager for a shipping company. I also was a documentation manager for the shipping company as well, and I was an operations manager for a shipping company and also for an air cargo company. Very exciting. I have a lot of supervisory experience. While I was a sales manager, I had a team of sales reps that visited the entire country. While I was a documentation manager, I also had a lot of clerks reporting under me. So I do have a lot of supervisory experience. When I came to the United States, I thought that I would continue in the transportation industry, but then I decided, no, I want to do something different. Let me try the healthcare area, and I applied for a position in a health management organization or managed care organization. It actually only works with insurances that are sponsored by the government. So it's an HMO for Medicaid and Medicare. I was accepted as a bilingual customer service rep, something that I enjoyed very much because I was able to speak with a lot of Hispanics and educate them on the benefits that they have through their Medicaid and Medicare coverage. I was then promoted to a provider service rep. As a provider service rep, what I did was speak with providers all day long, help them with issues concerning their claims processing, benefits for the members, appeals, updating their rosters, and any information pertaining to the provider themselves. I was also able to adjudicate claims on the phone with them. So that was a really learning experience. I worked as a coach as well, what they call an operations expert, and I did a lot of mentoring as well and a lot of training on the floor, and I walk the floor. That's what they call helping my peers with escalated calls from providers and from members as well. I was then promoted to a telephonic education, telephonic recruiter. Um, the education part was concerning contracting. What I did was I guided the providers on the documents that they need to complete an application package and credential with our company. We had to make sure that they met all the requirements from our company and from the government as well concerning the contracting. So I made sure that they complied with federal regulations, insurance regulations, that all the documents were completed correctly, signed correctly, that their licenses were valid. It was an awesome experience because I had no experience in the contracting area, and through that position I was actually able to learn, and because of that I was promoted to a provider network manager one. I still do recruiting as a provider network manager one, but now I actually recruit larger hospital groups, physician groups, and not only independent providers, but I also contract durable medical equipment, labs, pathology groups, and other medium-sized professional medical organizations. It's a work in progress. You learn every day. You learn something new. It all depends on what you are recruiting for, what market you are recruiting for. Every market is different. Every state has a different regulation, so it's a learning experience, and I have the opportunity of participating in a lot of the bills that we win, and that has given me also the opportunity of learning all the nuances from every state. So it's a great job. I really like it. I interact a lot with interesting doctors and their office managers, and I've actually learned a lot from them. I really appreciate everything I've learned from them. The next question is, describe a time when you worked well on a team. My team is called Network Development, and inside Network Development we have what we call work streams. The work streams are small teams that we have created, and we are assigned a specific task that we have to complete during a calendar year within that work stream. My last work stream was actually in charge of organizing our Network Development annual meeting. What we do is we meet as a team once a year for 3 days. During those 3 days, we actually get to stay at a hotel, a different state every time, so we get to see a little bit of the country. We provide training, we have speakers, we present what we did last year during our work stream as well. We get to do night activities and a lot of fun activities where we can actually create a rapport within our team members. So it was a lot of fun organizing that. I learned a lot, from making hotel reservations to buying airline tickets and ordering food for the activities, and coming up with some silly activities for the icebreakers as well. It was awesome. It was a great experience. No complaints. Nobody got lost. Nobody lost their reservations. Everybody was on the plane. So I can say that it was truly a great experience. The next question, tell me about a time when you had too many things to do and had to prioritize your task. Well, that actually happens a lot. It is a very busy department, and what I like to do every day is as I see that I have something to do, I write it down on my agenda, and then twice a day at the beginning of the day I take a look at what I have to do, and I prioritize from most important to least important, and I just go down my list and I just start working it out. At the end of the day, I'll kind of take a look at what I did, what I did not do. If something was left from the list that I could not tackle that day, it immediately goes to the top of my list for the next day. And I actually like to kind of recap at the end of the day, because I've also jotted down some other things that have been added on, and then I kind of integrate that for my next day as well. So I think it's very important to have that priority list, because otherwise you'll kind of lose your focus, and some things have to be done right away, and some things can actually wait for a little longer. So it's very important to do that kind of exercise. I do that every day. The next question, tell me about a time when you had to go above and beyond your call of duty. How did you handle the situation? As a customer service rep, you do have the opportunity of going above and beyond a lot, but I remember specifically one time that a mom called me. It was almost 7 o'clock at night. She was very worried. She was at the pharmacy. She could not get the medication for her child. The doctor had prescribed a medication that was not in our usual pharmacy formulary. And when that happens, the doctor has to call in and initiate what we call a pre-authorization. He did not do that. So mom was at the pharmacy. She was upset. The child was sick. She wanted to begin treatment for the child that day. I immediately involved a manager, and my manager involved a pharmacy manager. And we were able to obtain an override, and mom got medication for 3 days, which was enough time for us to go back to the doctor the next day and ask him to initiate that pre-authorization process. So mom was happy. She was able to go home with with the meds for the child, and we were very happy as well. A lot of satisfaction to know that you are able to help someone just by taking that little extra step. I could have told her, Mom, I'm sorry, you have to wait until tomorrow, but no. I actually decided that this was something that I had to tackle, and I feel very happy that I did go above and beyond that time. I can remember that very well. The next question, tell me about a time when you worked effectively under pressure. We work a lot under pressure in this department. We have deadlines. We have to actually sometimes build a market for a specific build, and we are allotted a specific amount of time to do that. But I remember recently we had 22 states, and we had to complete adequacy in 6 weeks in order to respond to a bid. So wow, that was like, wow, 22 states in 6 weeks. This is something like, wow, we had never seen that before. We tackled it very well. We had to hire some temps. We divided the states among the group, and we also divided the doctor specialties among the group. So we actually focused, and we got the job done. We were able to meet adequacy and effectively respond to that bid. It was a great experience. I believe that the pressure itself was what created that momentum and gave us that stamina to meet that goal. So I remember that very well. It was a lot of fun. The next question, give me an example of a time when you showed initiative. Well, while we were doing that special project, I remember that some of the temps were not very they were not very knowledgeable at all in a platform that we call Salesforce. Salesforce is where we document all our interactions with our providers. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel so bad for them. You know, they don't know how to do this, and they were actually documenting everything on a spreadsheet, which is not very fun. So I actually took 2 days off, and I created a training, a PowerPoint training for them on Salesforce. And then I had a lunch and learn with them, and I trained everybody. They really appreciated it. It was fun. We've actually used that training as our Salesforce manual. So what we've done is that we've built on that. And every time we have something new come up, we just kind of add it in there. So that was a great idea. It was a great project because we are still using it. It's a live document, and we update it, and if we have a newcomer, we can just hand them over that handbook, and they can kind of navigate on their own. So that was a great project as well. The next question, is there anything else you would like us to know about you? Well, I can say that I'm very positive. I always have a great expectation of good. I'm always expecting the best of everything. I'm very goal-oriented as well, and very disciplined, and I can also say that I'm very faithful, and I'm very grateful as well. So I always show gratitude by being a responsible person and a great team player. I really thank you for this opportunity, and I do hope that I can get to speak with the team again, and maybe go into more detail about the position and my interest in this opportunity. So thank you once again for the interview, and have a great evening. Thank you.